Hello everyone. This is one more interesting question that came in CSI net exam in 2025 June. So similar type of questions are already came in GATE and some other exams. Okay. So sometime in diagrammatically they are asking and sometime in wording they are also asking. Okay. So I will try to explain this question in a very simple manner. Okay. And how we can just from the diagram itself we can read the answer. Okay, I will also tell that one. Okay, but before doing that we should have the concept. Okay, so sorry, so we will do that thing later. Okay, but first we will understand the concept. Okay, and with this I will add as much information as I can. I will add in this question. And if you have any other question apart from this that you want to understand, okay, just ask me in the comment box. And don't wait for the opportunity. Be ready and ask question from the system from wherever you are learning. Okay. So now in this question is basically related with the phase diagram. How we will read phase diagram. Okay. So before going into this, okay, we will understand what is phase rule. Okay. Why I use the word phase rule? Phase rule. Phase rule is given by Gibbs. Okay, and he has given one formula. Okay, that formula is F is equal to C minus P plus 2. Okay, this is very important formula. Okay, what is F, what is C, what is P, and why he added plus 2 in it? Okay, we will understand this thing first. Okay, F mean degree of freedom. Or there is one more name for this. Okay, don't confuse with this. Okay, that is variance. Sometimes they are asking about the degree of freedom and sometimes they are asking about the variance. Both are same. Okay, don't get confused. Okay, in question. Okay, they can either ask in degree of freedom or in variance also. Okay, this is our F. What this now? Now other thing is C. I will explain all those things. Okay, what is this C represent? This C represent the component. How many components are involved in the system? And this P represent phase. Okay, phase means either it is only a solid, either solid plus liquid. Okay, or either solid plus liquid. Okay, means solid means different minerals. Okay, in that way. Okay, so I will tell you how to read that one. Okay, so now coming to this two means intensity intensive intensive variable. Okay, what is now intensive variable? Okay, so from this formula we are understanding these things. Okay, now we are expanding these terms so that we can understand the things properly. Okay, and in basic exams they may ask what is this, why we are using two, or why we are using one. Okay, this type of question they can also ask. Okay, simple formula they can also ask. And okay, so next part is, what is this intense intensive variable? Okay, so first we will understand what is variable. Okay, variable means, we'll change the color. Okay, variable means state of system. State of system. Now one more term is coming. What is system? Okay, so variable means state of system. We will also understand what is system. Okay, later. First, then we will reverse the things. Okay, what is this state of system? Okay, variable means state of system, and there are two type of state of system. One is intensive and one is intensive, one is okay. One is intensive, one is start with E. Okay, one is start with I. Okay, so what is the difference between these two? This this depend upon quantity. This depend upon quantity of material. Okay, quantity of material means, like example, mass, volume, number of moles, like this. Okay, now what is this extensive? What is this intensive? It is, it does not depend upon size. Size means not depend upon volume, mass. Okay, it does not depend on size. Okay, so in this, but we will means size is not there. But then what are the things that are included in it? Pressure, like pressure, temperature, density. Okay, so if there is one condition, okay, if we divide extensive property by extensive property, okay, extensive property by extensive property, we will get intensity property, intensity variable. Okay, how? Suppose in intensity we are having mass. If we divide mass by volume, we will get density. Density means mass per unit volume. So density is intensity variable. Okay, if we divide to extensive, we will get intensity variable. Okay, so up to this you will understand. Now I will explain this word system. Okay, actually means we have to come from in a reverse order. Okay, first I will go one by one, then I will reverse the order so that you can understand. Okay, because I'm going with the question, what are the things that comes in your means, what are the things that should be in your mind. Okay, I'm going with that prospect. Okay, so I will change the color. And now what is system? This one more term is there. What is system? Okay, I will remove other part. Okay, okay, I will remain it. Suppose this is our universe. This is our universe, and we are studying some part of this. We are studying. Okay, This is our universe. Okay, and we are studying some part of this. Suppose this is our part that we are going to study. So the portion of universe that we are going to study, that we want to study, we call this as a system. We call this as a system. Okay, and this outer part means that surrounding part. That surrounding part we call as a, this is system. This is our surrounding. Okay. Okay. So system means study of a part of universe. We call it as a system, and the system, and there is one more term. Okay, surrounding a part of it is also a part of universe. Okay, that surround our system. Okay, so now systems are three types. Okay, the system is of three types. One is open system. Second one is closed system. Third one is isolated system. Now you just think which system is given to us in this question. It is open, closed, isolated. Okay. This open system means suppose this is our system and it is surrounded by it is surrounding. So if there is change from out to in and into out, means energy and matter transfer to and from. Okay, from the system to the surrounding or from surrounding to the system also. Okay, both way. Okay, we call it as a this one. Next one is closed system. In closed system only, in this case energy and mass, in this case only heat can be exchanged. Okay, heat exchange. Okay, only. In isolated, neither 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 energy nor matter can exchange. Okay, so we call it as an isolated system. So now we will reverse the thing. First we will understand what is system. Okay, then we will understand state of system. There are two state of system, intensive and extensive. Okay, one so in that what are the things? Mass, volume, and number of moles in extensive, and in intensive we are having pressure, temperature, and density. All those things are involved in this. Okay, the system is having mass, volume, number of moles, pressure, temperature, and density. Okay, so now if we will use isolated system, okay, if we will use isolated system for our study. Okay, so then what are the things we have to understand at the time? Means mass volume, number of moles are not getting changed in the system. In open system these things are involved now. So in our case these things are not involving in. Okay, so now what are the things are changing in our system if we use isolated system? Okay, intensive variable, and in intensive variable pressure and temperature are the two things that we are generally use, because due to that our system is varying. Okay, so that's why with respect to pressure and temperature we are study our diagram. Okay, so that's why we are using two. Okay, but we are using one more formula, same formula. Instead of 2 we are using 1 also. Instead of 2 we are using 1 also, in which case we are using 1. Okay, when pressure is fixed, when pressure is fixed, okay, in that case we are using F is equal to C minus P plus 1 instead of F is equal to C minus P plus 2. Okay, now in our question, which formula we will use? Okay, you just think, okay, F is equal to C minus P plus 2 or F is equal to C minus P plus 1. Okay, so in our question only one thing is given, that is temperature, not pressure. Okay, on one axis and on one axis we are having composition. We are having composition. It means our pressure is fixed. They have written a 1 atmospheric pressure. So it means our pressure is fixed. So now we will understand in that way. Okay. So our formula is F is equal to C minus P plus 1. Okay. So we will use that in this. Okay. Now I will remove this part and I will add more information. Okay. Up to this, hope you understand. If you have any query, you can ask. Okay. If you have any other query, you can ask. Okay. Any term, okay, even a single term, if you are facing difficulty, I will try to clear that thing also. Okay. So now next thing is there are so many things, okay, in this question. Okay, if you have some basic idea, then you will understand more. Okay, if you are reading first time, then you will understand little. Okay, so now we will write what formula we will use. Okay, F is equal to C minus P plus 1. Now the thing is clear why we are using only one intensive variable we are using, that is temperature. Okay, and one is fixed. Okay, so now this formula we will use, and F is degree of freedom, C is component, okay, and P is phase. Phase means liquid, solid, gas, what kind of phase it is, or solid plus liquid. Okay, solid, all these are phase. Composition means component, sorry, not composition, component means, suppose we have some formula. Okay, MgSiO3. So how many components are in this case? Okay, one is MgO plus one is SiO2. Okay, these are the two components in this case. Okay, in this way we are calculating our components. Okay, so here they are not mentioning any composition. So how many components are there? P and R. You can say that Q is also a component. Okay, but in this case, because it is a peritectic system, okay, we will use, and this diagram is a binary. Binary means what? Two component only. Okay, but we are getting 3 in this. So what are the reason behind this? Why we are using 2 but we have seen 3? Okay, because this phase diagram is a peritectic system, and that's why it is different from the other means binary system. Okay, so that's why they are asking this question. This is the main reason why they are asking this question, okay? Because this system is different from the other systems, okay? Binary systems, okay? That's why they are putting this question, okay? Otherwise, if similar things are there, what is different from the rest, they will ask. Chances of asking of their question is more, okay? Because they want to know that why this system is different from the other similar systems, okay? So now I will tell you that what is this system, okay? First we will understand one reaction, okay? First, right? First, right? Less crystal of light. Okay, it is a quartz. And its temperature is more than 1470, okay? It will changes into anesthetic. Means example of peritectic system is phosphorite and quartz. Okay, and we know that means olivine and quartz never occur together. Olivine and quartz never occur together. But there is one more condition in that. In olivine we are having two minerals, major minerals. Okay, there is also continuous reaction series within the olivine itself. Okay, one is phyllite. Okay, before that, okay, I will write later. Okay, one is phyllite. Another one is phosphate and sorry. First we will write phosphate. Okay. One is phosphate, one is phyllite. That phosphate is Mg rich. Phosphate is Mg rich, and its formula is Mg2SiO4. Okay, and phyllite is Fe2SiO4. Okay, olivine can never occur together with quartz, that you have read in book. Okay, but in olivine, Mg rich olivine never occur with quartz. Okay, but phyllite can occur with quartz. Okay, note this one. Okay, I will write note on it. Okay, so it is an important point. Okay, they can ask you this question in the interview itself. Okay, so if you are giving an interview, in that they can ask. Okay, so what are the rocks in which we can get phyllite and quartz? Means olivine and Fe-rich olivine and quartz together, like alkaline granites. Okay, or rhyolite, or other Fe-rich rock. Okay, this is the example. Now you understand one point. Now I will from this reaction, are you able to understand that our phosphite? That's why I write phosphite. Okay, phosphite and quartz. Okay, because they are not occurring together. That's why they are forming new mineral in between this. That is anesthetic. Okay, we will write formula also so that you can understand the more things. Okay, formula is for phosphate. Formula is this one, Mg2SiO4. O4 plus SiO2. Okay, how many Si now? This is one Si, this is two Si. So about two Si, we need two Si. Okay, how many oxygen? 4 plus 2, 6. We are getting 2 Si. Okay, we are getting 2 oxygen. How many? We are getting 6 oxygen and Mg. We are having 2 Mg also. 2 Mg. Okay, so we'll take 2 common. Okay, so we'll get 2 Mg Si and O3. Okay, so if we will multiply 2 will inside, we will get 2 Mg, 2 Si and 3 to the 6. 6 oxygen. Okay, we are getting all those things. Okay, in this way we have to balance our reactions also. Okay, hope you understand this much. If you have any query, you can ask. Okay, in the comment box. Okay, so now, so this is our system in which phosphate and quartz is given as a binary, but quartz and feldspar means quartz and this phosphate can never occur together. So that's why in between anestetite is forming. This Q will represent anestetite. Okay. Why I'm not using PQR? So that you can understand that diagram properly. Okay. So now we have understand so many things. Sorry. So now we'll start our question. Okay, now we will calculate our degree of freedom. Okay, before that, this curve we call it as a liquidus curve is between, above this curve we are getting liquid and below this curve we are getting mineral as well as liquid. Mineral as well as liquid means solid plus liquid. In this, here we are getting only solid, here we are getting only solid, here we are getting solid plus liquid, here we are getting solid plus liquid, and in this system we are getting only, this is only liquid. Okay, so we just use this and we will calculate our question. Okay, so F is equal to, we need to calculate the degree of freedom na? So how many component we have? We are having two component, FO and quartz. Okay, two component. How many phase? If I'm standing at A, how many phase? Only liquid. So we'll use 1. Okay, and 1 is for that intensive variable. So our degree of freedom in this case is, this 1 and 1 cancel and we will get 2. Okay, at A. Okay, so I will darken this part, okay, so that you can understand, and I will change the color also. Now at B, B is equal to F. Now component is 2 in this case, component is 2 in this case, but how many phase? We are at the boundary of 2 na? So we are having two component in the, we are having two phase in this. One phase is liquid, another phase is solid plus liquid. Okay, so that's why we are using 2 instead of 1, and we will get what? This 2 and cancel, we will get 1 in this case. Next we will take our C. Okay, C. Now in this case, how many component? Component is 2. How many phase now? Okay, one phase is this one, liquid, one phase is this one, P plus liquid, and one phase is this one, Q plus liquid. How many phase? 3. 3 plus 1. So what will we get? We get 0 in this case. Okay, and we call this point C our peritectic point. Peritectic point. Why we call this as a peritectic point? Because at this point we are getting this reaction. At this point we are getting this reaction. Okay, because we are getting Q. Q means anisotite. We are getting our anisotite. Okay, when I will also explain, okay, what are the changes that occur in the reactions. Okay, first I will complete this one, then I will tell you. Okay, okay, at C we will get one texture. Okay, corona texture or reaction rim. Okay, this type of textures are forming here. Okay, why, how this is going to be formed, I will explain. Okay, so next is option D, means at point D. So I will change the color for D also. Suppose this is our D. Okay, so at D, how what is the degree of freedom? Component is 2. Okay, now how many phase? Be careful. Okay, now what I'm going to tell you. Okay, if you are coming from this side. Okay, this side. Okay, from means our well composition, means the composition of the magma. If it is giving on this side, this is a center point, na? Or means eutectic point. Okay, D is the eutectic point. Okay, okay, I will draw dotted lines. Okay, if our composition is giving toward our left. Okay, so when magma start cooling, it will following this curve. It will follow this curve. Okay, and if our magma composition is giving toward this side, if our magma composition is giving toward this side, so then we will follow this curve. Okay, so what is the difference between these two curves? Okay, what are the changes if our magma composition is giving on this side and if our magma composition of giving on this side is uh, different thing. Okay, I'm not going into that detail. Okay, in this video, otherwise it is going very long video. Okay, so if you need that concept, okay, you just mention in the comment box, and if you want more detail and from the basic you want to understand, you just mention in the comment box, and which system you want to understand. Okay, either binary, ternary, or in between binary. If you are having any uh, confusion, you can ask. Okay, from the basic if you want, you can also. Okay, so in this case, if our cooling is from this side, cooling is from this side, we will not use this one because this system is not forming. Because this system is not forming in this case. What are the system forming in this case? One is D, one is this one is this one, not this one. Okay, because this curve directly come to this. This is eutectic, and directly at eutectic, both the minerals that E and that inisotine and quartz crystallize simultaneously. That's why we call this point as a eutectic point. Okay, so phase are 3. Most of the people will do one mistake in at this point. They will calculate 1, 2, 3, and this one also. This one also. We need not to we need not to add this one. Okay, why? Because this is not a part of system right now. Because our system is coming from, means our magma is coming, cooling of magma is coming from this way. Okay, if we will start from this one, at that time we will not add this one. We will not quartz plus liquid, because we are not getting R plus liquid. We are not getting quartz plus liquid. First, I will tell you. Okay, why? So we will get 1, and we are getting what? 0, and this point is eutectic point. Okay, we are getting eutectic point. Now at eutectic point, what we are getting? We are getting graphic texture. Graphic texture. Okay, why graphic texture? Graphic texture means both the system, minerals simultaneously crystallize. Their ratio may be means their percentage may be vary, okay, but at a fixed percentage, okay. Okay, one may be 40 or one may be 60. Okay, depend upon the component at the either side. Okay, if it is alvite, anorthite, okay, on means there is a fixed composition of alvite and anorthite. Okay, that composition may also ask in the exam. Okay, with respect to that. Okay, you also understand that one. Okay. Now, next one is peritectic point. Peritectic point. At peritectic point, this is the reaction that holds. That's why we are using the point peritectic. And at that point, our degree of freedom is 0. Okay, degree of freedom is 0. Only we cannot change composition. Okay, we cannot change composition because degree of freedom is 0. Because our at that point our composition is fixed. Okay, we call that point as a eutectic. We cannot change temperature, we cannot change our composition also. So that's why we are using peritectic point and eutectic point. Okay, okay, eutectic point. Okay, now after understanding this and our option, now with respect to this our answer is this one. Okay, so now I will remove this part and I will try to tell you that this peritectic point we will get corona texture or reaction rim. Okay, so now I will tell you why this corona texture is forming at this C and why we are getting our graphic texture at this. Okay, so what is this corona texture? Okay, so in our question we are having minerals phosphorite. Okay, so means corona texture means when one mineral is formed. Okay, and it will react with the melt. It is not a continuous reaction. Okay, it is a, I will explain. Okay, there are two things. Okay, first I will do that. Okay, I will remove this part also. Okay, I will go in detail. Okay, within one single you will get most of your things, you will get more thing. Okay, so if you have any query now you can ask me in the comment box. Okay, so now next part is at A. Okay, our magma start cooling, we'll reach this point, we'll get what, we'll get P plus liquid. From liquid we will get P plus liquid. Okay, this P means phosphate, we'll get phosphate plus liquid. Okay, where our phosphate is forming at this place. Okay, so now our temperature is getting decreased. Okay, now our temperature is getting decreased and we will move along this curve. Okay, liquid curve. Okay, so now after reaching at C, so then what are the changes we are occurring? Because this phosphite is reacting with the liquid, this phosphite plus liquid is reacting with the liquid, and we will get what, in this liquid we are having what, in this liquid we are having our SiO2. So it means FO phosphate plus SiO2 reaction is taking place. So we will get our anisotite in this case. Okay, so now in term of, suppose this is our olivine grain, this is our olivine grain. Okay, because it is not a continuous reaction, it is a discontinuous reaction, it is a discontinuous, you know, na Bowen reaction series, this side it is a discontinuous, This side is continuous. Continuous reaction is taking place between albite and anorthite. And inside we are having olivine, then we are getting pyroxene, then we are getting amphibole, like this, okay, and we are getting quartz or muscovite, okay, in this way. So discontinuous reaction means what? We are having a mineral, okay, in a system. It is reacting with the melt, okay. It is reacting with the melt. So now after forming the formation of olivine, it is react with the liquid. Liquid is having what? Liquid is having SiO2. Okay, and this olivine is also what one? Which one? Phosphide one. Okay, so we are getting an astatite. We are getting an astatite, and it is how it will start. Okay, this olivine is start corroded from outside. Okay, I will change it. Okay, this olivine is getting corroded. Okay, that's why we are calling it as a corona texture. Okay, and this we call it as a reaction ring. Okay, and this, okay, this reaction, okay, and this we call it as a anestetite. And this point is forming now. Now we are moving back, going down, okay, along this curve, okay, and reach point D. All our means all our anestetite, oh, means this phosphide, okay, all our phosphide is consumed, okay. At that time we are not getting, now we are not getting reaction texture in the rock, okay. So now this phosphide is converting into anestetite. So now we are getting only anestetite. Now we are getting anestetite plus quartz. Which quartz? Crystal of light. Okay. So, but this have a fixed composition. Okay. This have a fixed composition. Okay. This composition is not getting changed between anestetite and quartz. Okay. And temperature with at this point, okay, only I'm talking about this point represent the eutectic point. This point represent the peritectic point. Okay, this is eutectic. Okay, eutectic point. So our this anestetite, okay, anestetite plus liquid means SiO2 is reacting and forming anestetite plus means this liquid, okay, not SiO2, means SiO2 is present within the liquid, okay. SiO2 is present within the liquid, okay. So we are getting these two, okay. Here also, okay, in liquid, okay, this SiO2 is present, okay. That's why it react and this forming, this anestetite will form, okay. So in this way we have to understand this question, okay. And still, if you means always remember that peritectic and eutectic point have a fixed composition as well as temperature. It cannot be changed, okay. The moment it got changed, some changes occur in the system also, okay. So because degree of freedom is zero, na, at that case, if degree of freedom is zero, now we will understand one more thing, okay. If f is equal to 2, if f is equal to 1, and if f is equal to 0, what it mean? Okay, now if f is equal to 2, it means our temperature and pressure both can change. It means our temperature and composition both can change, okay. If f is equal to 1, if f is equal to 1, only one thing can be changed, okay. If f is equal to 0, this is the point we cannot change anything in this system now. We cannot change temperature, we cannot change composition also, okay. This mean of f is equal to 2, f is equal to 1, and f is equal to 0. But, okay, so hope you learn something from this question, okay. So if you have any other query apart from this question, you can ask me in the comment box, share this video with your friends, discuss and ask question from the system from wherever you are learning. Thank you. Hope you learn.